Hey guys, so as I posted, I was in need of some type of software or something that would create barcodes in bulk and automated, not only in bulk, but basically an automated process where if I added something on my Google Sheet, let's say the barcode number, the barcode would automatically be created. So I couldn't find a solution that wasn't super expensive, but I really needed it. So of course I posted it in our group, and actually Minak was awesome. He showed me this Instagram reel that got me thinking. And basically, what the Instagram reel said was that you can create barcodes right on Excel or, for me, Google Sheets. And then once I had it in Google Sheets, really anything was possible using Pabbly, Zapier, that type of stuff. So what I did is I opened the Google Sheet. I watched the reel, obviously, to figure out how to do it. And just to give you a quick idea of what I'm trying to do, um, it's like a wholesale order, and I have to create pallet labels. And the pallet label needs a barcode, right? Now, the barcode, when you scan it, should scan, well, the barcode, when you see it, the numbers on the bottom of the barcode, they have parentheses in them, if you could see the parentheses. But when you scan it, there should be no parentheses when you scan it. Okay, so that was the first hurdle, which I didn't know how, what to do without spending crazy money on a barcode creation software, which is like $1,000, and I didn't want to spend that yet. So what I first did was I said, okay, let's try to figure out how to make the barcode on Gsheets, see if it's possible. That's column C, so it is possible. The problem is very easy to do, by the way. You just type in whatever the barcode is. So for me, the barcode would be whatever's in column B. So I made a little formula saying, column B, turn it into a barcode, and really all it is the font. As a few people said in the chat, there's a bunch of barcode fonts, the Libra, Barcode, and all different kinds. The issue that I had, one more thing, you can tell that some of these fonts have numbers underneath them, some of them don't have underneath them, some of them are in different shapes. They're all different types of barcode fonts, different types of barcodes. But I tried scanning every single one of these with a barcode scanner, and for some reason they didn't scan. I printed out the sheet, tried scanning them, and was having difficulty. Plus, they didn't look very good. And then the third thing was they were extremely long. I didn't want a barcode that long. I mean, I know I can make the font smaller, but it wasn't working. So I put it on the back burner. I said, all right, you know what? I have a great idea. I use this barcode engine all the time. And now that I got into the G Sheet, I can make a barcode myself on G Sheets. I got thinking. And there's a bunch of different barcode programs that you could use, but for now, I'm using barcodesinc.com. And basically, when you generate a barcode, you tell everything you want to do. You put the barcode number that you want. If you want text, underneath the barcode, which is these numbers, if you want a border, all these different things, the height, the width, whatever you want, the font you want, the type of barcode you want, and the output, PNG or JPEG. So I selected everything I wanted. And the beautiful part is it gives you a link straight to the barcode. So if I was to take this link and paste it anywhere in Chrome, I have an actual image of an actual barcode. Now the best part is, if you look at what the link actually says, let's repaste the link. It's basically just, whatever the website is, and then the barcode number that I put in there, and then whatever the size and shape and all that stuff. So I got to thinking, okay, great. That means if I was to, let's just say, remove all these numbers, right? The barcode should now just render with the ending with the 8. So let's see if that works, which it will. Great. So that's somewhat of a way to automate barcodes. Now, how am I going to do that in Google Sheets? That's the easy part. I just created a formula. Basically, I took that link that I just copied from here. I removed the numbers. I removed these numbers like that, right? Oops. And then I replace those numbers with a simple Excel formula. I think it's quotation, the end sign, and then the column that it's in, which is for me the B column. So you click on it. I think it's B2. What is it? Another end sign or ampersand, and the quotations. So basically, what that says is it says basically take whatever numbers are here, make a and shove it into this link. So once I did that, the link actually created the same. Oh, sorry, one more thing. There's a formula, I think it's called the formula in Google, in Gsheets, called equals image, where it'll actually not only show the URL, it'll actually show you the image of whatever you're looking at. So that's what I did. I equal image, parentheses, put that link in, switched the UPC with the actual scannable, with the actual barcode numbers that I wanted. Meanwhile, also, this is another formula that I used, just real quick. So like I was telling you before, it has to show parentheses when you view the numbers, but it has to scan with no parentheses. So I did a quick Google Sheets formula saying, remove all parentheses. So now it's just 0204 instead of parentheses 0204. All right, then I basically put B2 in here to create the barcode image. Then I had another issue, which we'll get to in a second. So what I ended up doing is without the equals image, I just created a third row with just the formula, just the URL for the barcode. And then since all the barcodes are here, I just pretty much, I don't know what the word is, but I did this and I dragged down to have all the formulas copy each other. Now I left 3 blank here so we can test it now with Pabbly. So once I created these 3 types of barcodes, all I had to do really was open a Google Doc, and with the help of Fagun Shah, which is he's an amazing, if anybody doesn't know, he's a Pabbly expert. And maybe last year, I remember that we were not able to replace images in Google Docs. We were not able to place a URL into a Google Doc and get an image to appear. So this is a little bit of an issue, but then recently, I think maybe 6 months ago or something, something was changed in Pabbly where we can now replace images with another image. And that's all important. So basically, this is just a test document similar to the one that I made for my actual project. And what I did is I took a bunch of variables. So basically, you'll see the first variable is the one with the parentheses. I called it value text, barcode value text. The second one is the font text, palette barcode test 1. The second one is the image, test 2. And the third one is image URL. Okay. Let's see if I added anything else. Okay, then I have a trigger. Obviously, that's the trigger. Okay, so in company name, there's a bunch of other stuff that I didn't bother filling out for this video. And then you'll see test 1, test 2, test 3. And then underneath each of the tests, you'll see barcode value text. So basically, test 1 would show this with this text. Test 2 would show this, just a barcode, no text, with this text, which is what I want, because this barcode is going to scan these numbers, which is exactly what I wanted, but the text on the bottom would show that. And then if that didn't work, because I remembered the images I wasn't able to import into Pabbly, I would use the image URL, again, hoping that it would show this image once it hits the dock, and then underneath that image, show the value text. So test 1, test 2, test 3, it equates to test 1, test 2, test 3. Value text is this, which is underneath each test 1, test 2, test 3. I also added a separate image. Now I made this image black on purpose just to easily see the differences when we run the test. So the barcodes that I create are white background with black lines. This I inversed. I did a black background with white lines, just so you can see this is just an image that we don't want to use. We want to actually, at the end of the day, we want to replace this image with the correct barcode if we have to. And then again, value text, which is the same thing I put under here. All right, so I put this because this ended up being the one that worked, which you'll see in a second. In Pabbly, I make a pretty easy automation once you figure out how to do it. I've been doing it for these types of automations for a long time for a bunch of different wholesale stuff. So basically, I just took that Google Sheet that I made, and I made it the trigger, and then you saw already the trigger sheet. All right, I filled in, in the Google Doc. The next thing I did was I created a document, Google Doc, create document from a template. So this is the template that I made. So I'm going to create a new document, and this is Pabbly tells you how to do this, so I don't really have to explain the whole thing. But basically, what I did was I told Pabbly that test 1 barcode should go here. That's the font barcode. Test 2 barcode should go here, which is the image, this one, image barcode. Test 3 barcode, which is the URL only, should go here, and I was hoping that it would turn it into an image when it comes into Google Docs. And then that's all basically here. So palette barcode test 1 is test 1, barcode value text is value text, test 2 is test 2, test 3 is test 3. If you noticed, actually, test 2 all the way up here, when I ran the trigger on Google Sheets, you can see that test 2 right here actually didn't even show anything. So if you remember, test 2 is the actual image. So I knew right away this wasn't going to work. Test 2 isn't bringing anything into Pabbly, so it's probably not going to work. But I said, all right, let's test it anyway. So again, I have my Google Doc ready to go, my trigger, and let's do a quick test, right? So let's go to Pabbly, and all right, let's do recapture webhook response. All right, I want to do one thing at a time. All right, so if I go to one of these, first of all, you'll see all the everything comes up as soon as I copy, which I really love formulas. Anyway, this barcode that we're about to do on Pabbly should end with 37168. Okay, not 167, 168. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to activate the trigger just by typing anything in the trigger column, and then you'll see Pabbly Connect is going to hopefully receive that response. It takes a little bit longer, I noticed, because it's formulating the barcodes from the formula. All right, so it came up with the response, and again, you could see that test 2 didn't show up, but 168 did come in, and all the other ones. Okay, so we're good. Once that happens, everything's already mapped. I'm not going to waste time remapping all this stuff, so it's already mapped. I'm going to show you here. The last test I did was 162. The new one that comes up in a second is going to be 168, I think we said. So I'm going to save and send test request. Okay, so it looks like it went through, and here 168 came through. So if I was to open 168 right now, let's see what happens. So just as a reminder, the red stuff is the stuff that should be changed. So test 1, I'm hoping for a barcode to pop up somewhere. Okay, so test 1 came up, and all it did really was it took the, if you remember on the Google sheet, what we had is over here. It took the font, and it just turned. Sorry, I took the font barcode, and it didn't really do much with it. I might be able to turn this into a font, into the font that I want. You know, I really didn't try to hit barcode 39. You know, maybe it works, but it wasn't scanning, and it really wasn't the most elegant solution. I didn't like it. If I have to use it one day, maybe I will, but I didn't really love it. Test 2, you can tell nothing came up. Sorry, so let's go back to test 1. So regular, let me control Z so we can just get back to where we were. Regular numbers popped up. And then for the value text, that actually worked fine. So again, the value text is what I want the readable text to be, which would be this, 02, and then 168 is the one we just did. So 02 in the parentheses, and that came up. That worked perfectly. Test 2 didn't show up at all, because like I told you, Pabbly actually didn't see anything for test 2. Nothing actually showed up over here. That's the picture. Again, this is test 2, so nothing showed up, so that was a fail. Test 3 pretty much just showed the URL, so that wasn't good. And then the value text showed up for both of these. So, okay, everything I did was a fail. Then I remembered what Fagun told me, that now we're able, in Google Slides and in Google Docs, I actually set mine up in Google Slides, but it's all the same. Now you're able to replace images. Okay, got me thinking. What if I just added a placeholder image? So instead of all of this garbage, delete it all, just have one placeholder barcode. Again, I want my barcode to be a white background with black bars. This is just so we can see what's about to happen. And then I put the value text underneath here. So you can see the value text actually appeared in the new document. This is the the template document, but nothing changed here yet. Okay, back to Pabbly. So we did 2 steps so far. We have the Google Sheet as the trigger, the Google Doc to create the document from a template, and now there's a new thing that you do. It's to replace images of a document. To set it up, I'm not going to go through now. I think it's somewhere in the Pabbly group. I can probably link to it later. But basically what I told Pabbly is from the new document that was just created, 168, from this new document, now I want to replace this image with what? With this image URL. Okay? So now Pabbly sees document that was just created, replace image number 1 with test 3, which, again, these are the test 3 URLs, or the image URLs. So once this is the actual document, keep in mind it's a black background. Once I click save and send test request, the correct barcode is going to show up. Now the correct barcode should basically be a white barcode or a black barcode with white background with no text at all. But when it scans, obviously it'll scan the 168 without the parentheses. So let's try it. Okay, so let's go. Boom, there you go. So it actually did exactly what I wanted. Perfect. So now if I was to go back to the template, and again, this is just a test template that I'm making to kind of show what I was able to do. But if I was to delete this whole thing, now I have my pretty cool extension I found, the page sizer, because Google is weird with pages. And it's 4x6, which is the exact size of the label that I need to make. So now I have all the label information, and I have a what do you call it? Like just a placeholder image barcode. It should work perfectly. I kind of just deleted a bunch of stuff, so I don't know if it's actually gonna work. But let's try it again. Let's just go ahead and do a new trigger. All right, so this one should end in 169. Yes, I don't know if this is gonna work because I just messed around with Pabbly, but let's see. I messed around with the template, but let's see what happens. I don't know if 169 is even going to be created. Okay, 169 was created. Let's see how it was created. There you go. Created with the correct barcode. Remember, no black background, and the 169 written on the bottom. Perfect. I hope that helped somebody. I hope. I really appreciate all of you guys' responses. I got like 28, 30 responses and so much helpful information. I would not have been able to get this automation done without the Kenmo group. So, hats off to you guys. Awesome.